So make sure when you're installing your brackets to make them a little loose, just in case you have to adjust the rail any, because we ran into that just now. So make sure not to tighten them all the way down just yet. Give yourself a little room to move just in case you need it. So one thing that we noticed was the rail was a little bit low as compared to the side rail. So make sure that it's close to 1/8 of an inch to the side rail here. So make sure it's flush all the way down, not too low or not too high. So before you install the bulkhead seal, make sure that you wipe down the bulkhead with any kind of acetone or anything that will remove grease or wax, and then give it a nice drying afterwards just to make sure that it adheres to the bulkhead perfectly. So just make sure the seal is tight, and you may have to cut off a little extra on the end, and that's okay. So just make sure you cut that off, and you've got the bulkhead sealed. So the bulkhead has been sealed and the rails have been installed on the truck. So let's move on to the cover. So before we put the cover on the bed, we like to put the carriage bolt in the slot before we actually do the cover installation. So when the cover is actually placed on the bed, make sure that the end of the cover is up against the bulkhead. Okay, so now we've got a bracket. And what we're going to do, if you remember those carriage bolts we put in earlier, we're just going to attach the bracket to the bolt and then use a couple washers to separate it from the handle. Put the handle on and hand tighten it. Pretty simple. Once you've got a hand tightened, you're all set. Okay, so now for the drain tubes. Now these are going to be a little different from truck to truck. So what we have here is a little bit different than what you'll probably experience. But what we found worked for us is we took out the stake pocket covers. We actually fed it through an access hole on the side and then used a screwdriver, just a simple screwdriver, down in the stake pocket to maneuver the tube downward until we could snake it down through the bed. And then once you've got it snaking, it slides right through. Pretty straightforward. Again though, it's going to be a little different between truck to truck. And then there's a little spot on the bottom of the rail here. You're just going to plug it right into. Make sure you work out any kinks. So you want to make sure that this works, so make sure it's not kinked. And then that's it. That's all there is to it. So now that we've got the drain tubes in and you've done everything you needed to do in the bed, we're going to test the alignment on the cover itself. So we're going to fold it down, make sure it fits all good. And then once we're done with that, we're set. So after the adjustment test, we found that the cover was a little bit high as compared to the bed instead of being flush. So what we're going to do, we're going to go back to the bed rails here and we're going to lower those a little bit to adjust for that high rise. Alright, so the cover is installed and it looks great as always, thanks to UnderCover. Thank you again for stopping by and watching In the Garage with Performance Corner. We hope to see you again as soon as possible. And if you want to find any dealers near you, we also have a link to our dealer locator below so you can find a dealer near you that can help you with this cover. Thanks again.